Ladies and gentlemen, I know that my thoughts are a little bit scattered here because I'm just collating all this data. I don't like the picture I'm seeing, okay? It looks bad. And I'm just sick of these people. I'm sick of every day hearing about some girl that died or got paralyzed from their Gardasil shot. Won't you people just stop killing us? We've got a right to defend ourselves, you bastards. You got us cornered. You kidnap over 1 million of our kids every year without due process. You run around and squeeze us. Government's too big. Bunch of stinking bankers. I don't know what to do except to expose these people. And I don't enjoy the position I'm in. I don't like being a leader. I don't like wanting to work 20 hours a day and not having a life, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not complaining about the burden. I just wish it would stop. It's like a roller coaster ride you can't get off of, and it just goes on and 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 on. But I'm going to try to get focused, go over the evidence, and I want to hear from police, military, nurses. People are being told they have to take the shots. See, Obama is up there saying you don't have to take the shot, don't worry. But then he has his surrogates come out and say, oh, we might have to force the shots on you. So they play good cop, bad cop. And then they're telling nurses and police all over the country in different departments. It's in the Associated Press. It's in Reuters. It's in the Boston Globe. It's been in the news for the last month. They're telling nurses they've got to take it. They're trying to broach the subject to police, but they're saying no. So the good news is people are saying no. Praise God for that. But I want to take your calls. I want to talk to the military and police because we've already talked to emergency managers and others back in January about them planning this. And I just know that our enemies are capable of anything to get their world government. And they need a global crisis, and the flu is tailor-made. They set up the police state grid. They tell you it's for men in caves, and then they tell you, oh, it's for the flu. Oh, it's for gun owners. Oh, it's for conservatives. Brendan in California, you got any intel for us?
Hi, Alex. Just some of my thoughts on this particular topic.
Sir, hold on. I'm not trying to be mean, Brendan, but I'm going to give you 1 minute. But after this, I can't do it. I have to keep the lines open for police and military and medical workers. We need the information. But go ahead and give us your point.
I was just going to say they can't do terrorist-style attacks because that would turn American people away from domestic changes that Obama wants to accomplish and would refocus people on external threats. But the domestic bioemergency will support domestic federal takeover, which conveniently plays into the health reform agenda now on the table, and at the same time, also the only way that local and state authorities will get in line with federal direction. It also succeeds in removing focus from continued military buildup abroad, which is a weak point for Obama.
Yes.
And in addition, vaccine reactions will require additional health care. If government is blamed, then they'll have to make good. And if they're not blamed, then it simply plays into the general agenda.
Genius. I'm glad you did call in and broke the rule because you just crystallized it all. That's what Dick Armey said. He said, the former leader of the Republicans in the House. He said they're going to use this to weigh down health care and say, see, we've got to have government health care because it bankrupts the states. And that is exactly what they're starting to say now. So you're absolutely right. You should write that up and send it to writers@infowars.com and give us your perspective on it. Anything else, Brendan?
That's it.
God bless you. Now, look, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm sure Lisa, Kyle, Ronnie, Brian, I'm sure everybody's got great points. But after I take these calls, only police, military, first responders, medical workers, and then we've got video and audio clips coming up in the next hour of police and military confirming the plans for quarantines and checkpoints. They're going to take you away to the FEMA camps. We are now into hour number 2. Reuters and the government are preparing the public for deaths and neurological disorders. Their own internal documents admit that the flu shot is linked to this, the flu vaccine. So they're spinning it, saying, get ready for our millions of deaths, but it's not going to be vaccine related. They're brainwashing the doctors and medical workers to go along with this. I want to talk to military. I want to talk to police medical workers who can confirm the reports we're getting about them preparing mass graves. That's been confirmed, but I want to hear it directly from the police and military. Quarantines, checkpoints, you name it. William in Delaware attended flu conference. William, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex, you there?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I went down to that swine flu conference, and something I noticed was interesting was that Frank D. Palela was running the mass casualty breakout session, and he was also the one, I think, that was in charge of taking care of the bodies after 9/11. And he's also the guy that lost that computer. I think it was 2005 or 2007.
Refresh my memory. What was the computer?
The computer with images of 9/11 victims. He was parked down on Church Street when his SUV was broken into, and a computer was stolen. It just looks like it's all the same players. And I just sent a scanned copy to you guys over your. I've sent one to Paul Hartman. I'm gonna send more. You tell me where to send this stuff. I could send it to you, but it's got a picture, the name, and all the background of each individual person and what breakout session, business continuity planning, the mass casualty management, pandemic showstoppers, what leads to success. I mean, it's a 28-page program that I was able to get out of the Hyatt Regency down there in D.C. And
now, we had the cover sheet about taking people's kids out of the schools and forcibly inoculating them. You're saying you have the actual document out of that key conference in D.C. Let's get that to Kurt Nimmo and Paul Watson right now. Yeah, Hartman will forward that to Watson and Kurt, but Kurt at Infowars.com is a good place to see it as well. Give us more intel of what you saw in the meeting.
Well, I didn't last very long. I was down there trying to, I registered the day before to try to get down there and take some notes. The woman spoke broken English over the phone. I was trying to tell her that I'm down there, as just a freelance reporter. And I got down in the basement of the place and got kicked out by a woman in a burqa saying that no media was allowed. I met with Reuters out front, and they weren't allowed in any of the breakout sessions. There were state and local officials all at this conference that was $3,000 a head, and no media was allowed in.
And the federal government has cited that meeting as one of the key planning meetings for what's being planned, but they wouldn't let the media in. I remember seeing that. But you went and got the internal intel. God bless you. We're going to get this report out right now. Hartman, did you see him? Did you get his email? Okay, well, just send it to Writers at Infowars, send it to Rob D at Infowars, send it to Kurt so we have copies of it, and we will get your scan up. Can you write like a one-page boil down of what you witnessed there and what you saw?
Well, I actually had a hidden video. It's posted on YouTube. Just YouTube search swine flu conference in D.C., and you'll see me getting kicked out by this woman and me actually attaining this program. Okay,
Swine Flu Conference D.C. is the name of the YouTube video. We will get that in Paul Watson's report right now. Anything else you can tell us, William?
No, just thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for everything you guys do, Alex. And I'd like to be able to keep the lines of communication open.
Stay there. All right, I'm going to try to not put in my 2 cents. I'm just going to ask questions. And then I'm going to recap, coming up later in the hour, the big picture of what's happening with this flu, how it's being used as the cover for a complete takeover. Now, things are not going good for the globalist. People are not receptive to their forced inoculation, their quarantines, their lockdowns of cities, their mass grave preparations. But that is confirmed to be going on. And it's now being confirmed in the mainstream media, and they're beginning to spin it and acclimate it and try to sell it in a non-threatening way. And so I'm going to spend the whole show today on this. Going back to William, and then I'm going to open the phones up to police, military, first responders, people that have been to flu conferences, specifically on plans for martial law. Then I'm going to play several interviews, one with a police officer at a public event in Texas, and another with a member of the military who's working with local police in California. And we know the Army and Marines are working with chips for checkpoints, claiming it was for DWIs, which is totally illegal. So we know they're using that as a cover story. So see, I have all this other backstory intel, and then we have the Boston Globe saying they're getting ready to have certain areas and keep maps of who's been vaccinated where and what house. So this doesn't look good. William, in a nutshell, why did you go to the big flu conference? Why are you doing this? And what do you think's really behind all this?
Well, let me tell you, Alex, I know these globalists are eugenicists. You're the one who woke me up. I went off on my own and did my own research, and everything you say I was able to back up through, government-based websites and whatnot. I've got 2 little girls here, and I just am scared to death for their future. What I'm trying to do is put a team together here in Delaware.